Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, the TCG just had a whole bunch of events in person, and this is around the time when I feel like a lot of people are expecting a ban list for the TCG. I think there's even been like rumors that it's actually already been announced, or there already is a ban list that is in some regard existing. And since this is around the time that Master Duel also got a ban list, I wouldn't be surprised if the TCG got one here relatively soon. So yeah, that's basically my only assumption as to when I think a ban list could come. But let's talk about the cards that I am predicting to be on the list. So this is for the TCG, not the OCG. And yeah, let's just hop into this. First and foremost, we have Spell Mining Cave, aka Mystic Mine, aka a card that has won so many tournaments is kind of disgusting at this point. Basically, every deck now is running this card because even combo decks can utilize it as a way to prevent your opponent from playing the game in order to set up your own combo and then out your own Mystic Mine and then kill them on the crackback. Yeah, so it's probably going to be banned, given the fact that it is no longer a part of a control strategy to stop combo decks, but now it is used in combo decks to just win. Yeah. Moving on, we have as well Totally Awesome. I think this is the just hit to Splight that they're probably going to do. Turns out Toad is still crazy, and for some reason it's completely unlimited in the TCG for reasons unknown. But yeah, honestly, this card is so good in splites. You can make it very consistently to just constantly gain extra advantage, just by like, bring back a toad, because you're actually playing the frogs. Bring back a frog and then negate it using the toad, and then bring back the toad, and then it's just, yeah, absolutely crazy card. Definitely deserves to be banned. Let's move on. Next up, we have the limited cards. Now, as you can tell, this ban list isn't exactly large at this point. I'm not banning a whole lot of cards because I don't think Konami is going to do that. And it's the same thing with limitations. I don't expect much, but I do expect some things to be hit. Yes, Terra Element and Splight are absolutely dominating everything, and Konami is probably not going to care at all. So next up, we have a Pot of Prosperity. This card just seems like a hit that Konami will do, given the fact that they previously unlimited Desires. This might be the next one that they hit, since it is limited in Master Duel as well as in the OCG. It just feels like, hey, let's limit it in the TCG too. That's kind of where my thoughts are going with that. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen the most, but I do expect some sort of limitation to a pot card in general, whether this is Pot of Desires, once again going back to 1, which would make no sense. Just like get rid of it at that point. Like just leave it where it is. I don't know. Or a Pot of Prosperity, which is more likely since it can be played in so many different decks all over the place. Next up, we have a Nessie. Danger Nessie and Dangers in general have been utilized within the Terra Element archetype to the greatest effect, to make a combo version of the Terra Element, to end on some pretty incredible boards, as well as some pretty incredible interactions on the opponent's turn. So I think Danger Nessie is the most likely one to be on the chopping block. Sure, you could go for something like a Mothman as well, or a Bigfoot, or something like that, but seeing as how Nessie is in Aqua as well, this just seems like the biggest hit. This is the hit to Terra Elements that isn't really a hit to Terra Elements that we will see. Next up, we have Rivalry of Warlords. This one just seems to be like the floodgate that is most likely to be hit. I don't see any other floodgate. This one has been tearing up a lot of different events, given the fact that it won another one with Sword Soul, and it won the most recent EU WCQ with the Rika Plant archetype. This just seems like the one that Konami will be like, hey, this won 2 events. Get it out of here. Put it to 1. Is this the biggest issue? No. Does it make sense as to why it would be limited? Yes. Let's move on. Next up, we have some semi-limits. Most of these are semi-limits for the going towards unlimited. Some of them, well, Gamma is, in my guess, going to be limited or semi-limited, I should say. Reason for this is because Konami hates this card for some reason. It's not an issue, but Konami will see it in side decks and just in decks in general and be like, nope, problem, get it out of here. Yeah, that's kind of my assumption. I just think Konami doesn't like this card, and if ever they see it, they're just like, nah, get it out of here. Does it make sense? No, but neither does Konami's ban lists. Moving on, we have Miscellaneousaurus. Dinosaurus isn't doing anything right now, and they're probably like, hey, Dinosaurus can come back. It's fine. Give him Misc. It's okay. Please don't. Moving on, next we have Destrudo. Again, Destrudo isn't really doing anything, so why not give it back? Because it's a terrible idea. Don't give it back. Yeah, Destrudo is probably going to go to 2, as well as Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu was limited to 1 on the previous list from banned, and at this point it could probably come to 3, and no deck would be playing it. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the Unlimits. So, I have 2 cards on here, and the reason for this is because I'm pretty certain that Konami will forget the vast majority of cards that are currently limited or semied. So, True Draco Dynamite Fighter, Dynamite Knight, the True Draco Fighter. This guy's probably good to come to 3. And then lastly, we have Wall of Revealing Light as well. This card is doing nothing. And I think since last turn and stuff like that are banned, yeah, this card can come back to 3, no problem. Now, notably, I didn't say something like Halqifibrax, and again, the reason for that is very simple, but I really don't think that Halq is going to be banned. It's not an issue in Splite. It's not the issue in Splite, I should say, and I don't think that it will be banned, even though it was banned in the OCG. I just don't see Konami doing that in the TCG. It's not as big of an issue. Sure, being able to special summon something like an Ash in order to bounce it back to hand with your Swap Frog is absolutely crazy, but Konami doesn't care. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much so appreciated. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.